Two. Perfect. There we go. I am. There we go. All right. And if guys, for whatever reason, if the internet doesn't cooperate, if I ever freeze on you or something like that, you guys just throw up your hands and let me know. But my dad started martial arts. He was 13 years old. That was a long time ago, just so you know, because I'm not a young guy as much anymore either. And that being said, one of the things he wanted to do when he had kids was like he wanted to share that what transformed his life because my dad was not a great A student in school. He barely graduated. Martial arts kept him out of trouble. Probably a lot of you guys can resonate with that, or either you've worked with people that can resonate with that. And that being said, I remember when I was 11 years old, I'm spending summer in Virginia Beach. My aunt and uncle were in the Navy. My dad gives me a call. This is back in the day when we actually had to like walk to the phone in the house, right? Before we had carrying it around everywhere. And my dad was telling me the news. He just bought a karate school and he was going to transition from instead of doing it at the dance studio a couple nights a week to do this as a career path and then off to the races. And then the only secret sauce my family has is work ethic, guys. And so my dad made a big, started with a small school that grew to a big school, about 600 students. This is in the early 90s. I earned my black belt then, and things were going great. I was kind of confused about career path, what I wanted to do. What I did love was helping people. What I loved was seeing people grow through something. And so as a kid, obviously martial arts was our life. Between martial arts and church, basically, that was the two things that we had. Okay. Uh, Fast forward when I decided to do this as a career path, I went at it pretty much probably a lot of ways you guys do, which is I'm great at teaching. I'm in one of my schools right now. I'm great at teaching martial arts. I'm really not the person that wants to go sell. I don't really want to market. I really don't want to pick up the phone. I don't want to go knock on doors. I don't want to do it. I just want to teach. Let me just teach. Anybody can resonate with that? Just let me get on the floor and work with some people. But then you start getting a little older. You're like, I want to make some money. Like, I don't want to be this guy that hangs out with people that are doctors, lawyers, right? I don't want to be that guy that I'm working just as hard, if not harder than those guys. Hey guys, if you're new coming in, just drop in the chat where you're coming from, where you're representing. We're just kind of getting started, guys, and I appreciate all being here today. Um, but when I started teaching, I was like, I'm spending all this time pouring into people, and my buddies are making great money, and they hate what they do, but they're making great money, and I'm like, I'm all in right now. And so everybody in the industry, in the martial arts space, consultants, um, and my dad was very successful, 600 students, making a lot of money doing that. But I just knew that I want to do it maybe a little bit deeper, right? And so I was doing well according to martial arts industry. I had a school, 300 plus students, $1 million in revenue, making about $400,000 a year, pretty successful for most people. And I was bored. Anybody ever like just get bored? Like is there I want more. And so more in the martial arts industry is more schools. And so I went from one to three. Well, at three schools, I was still making $400,000 a year, but I had about not three times the amount of stress and pressure. I had about 30 times. Because I'd come home from teaching, because I love teaching. I'd come home from teaching and I would open the computer up and see all the problems from the other locations. And they were costing me money. And worse, they were costing me time away from the things I love. And at the time, I had a new daughter at home, right? How many guys you feel like there's just never enough time to do all the things? And then, of course, they have this preacher syndrome type thing where they say, well, you spend all your time with the flock, but not with your family. And I was living that life. And so eventually I checked my ego out the door, sold two of those locations away, which you guys understand when you sell a martial arts location, you probably just gave it to somebody. People don't sell martial arts schools, okay? It's rare. It's rare. And if you sell it, I know people brag about selling it. A lot of times it's an owner finance deal. No one's writing you a check for a couple $1 million typically. All right. So I decided I'm going to put discipline on me, all this discipline we teach on our marketing. I'm not going to ever go to the next level of locations or skill until I figure out how to be a business owner, not a martial arts school owner. And there's a difference, guys. So today, what I'd like to do is I'm going to share that framework, what I spent, let me change that word, what I invested $7 million since 2017 learning how to do so I can do it anywhere, anytime, with any type of business, with anybody. Now, it's a lot of money to invest. The reason why it was a lot of money is because I did not just do it for me. I took my staff with me. And so when I exited from my company in 2022, I had 24 locations. Just FYI, I'm not knocking anybody who does this, but we did not do aftercare. We did not do daycare. I'm a martial artist. I teach martial arts. I change lives through martial arts. I'm not a babysitter. If you make money doing that, and that's how you make your money, do it. Go make as much money as possible and do what you can to provide a service. It's just not the business I want to be in, I wasn't in. And so we had 3,700 students at the time of my exit, 24 locations, 54 full-time staff members, $7 million in annual revenue, 40% margin. And I say that because I intentionally did something different. I'm an outlier for sure. I did not do the intelligent business decision, which was dominate a market. What I wanted is I knew my future. I wanted to be able to talk to someone in California or in New York or in Florida or Texas or Pennsylvania and then say, hey, when you tell me, oh, but you don't understand my market, Aaron, it won't work here. Okay. I had schools in Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Indiana, Oregon. By the way, Portland, Oregon during COVID, not the best place to have a location, just so you know. And it was our best year we ever had. And the state of Colorado. All right. So I was in 6 states, 3 different time zones, and I was not the bottleneck. I was not present physically in these locations. I did it because I wanted someone to push back on everything I'm teaching today. And you guys can challenge me all you want, and I welcome that. I don't know everything about life. I pretty much know majority of things when it comes to running the martial arts business the wrong way. Anybody how to do it the wrong way? I pretty much know everything about the wrong way. And I know a lot about how to do it a better way. And I like to show you that. All right. And that will be today. Today is not just a lecture. I really want to teach. I'm a teacher, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach. And I want you guys to be able to implement some of these things as today, if you can. All right. Now, that being said, before we get started, I really believe that if you have the almighty weapon here of the pen and you've got this great thing called paper and you take notes, my pastor actually says that if you take notes during church, that he has on good authority, you get a fast pass into heaven when it's their time. All right. And I'm not sure if that's the truth or not, but I will say this, that this little thing that I didn't want to do when I was in school has changed and transformed how I operate as a leader and as just as a person. All right. And so taking notes is very powerful because the best teacher in your life, guys, will not be me. It will not be some other mentor. It's going to be you. You're going to be your best teacher. And so every day I'm writing and teaching myself because you guys know yourself better than anybody else. So all I'm gonna do today is share hopefully some things that you know about, but maybe a better way to think about it and how you can implement. And so we're gonna start with this, 2 things. I want this to be, you know, an act of how we are as leaders. So I had 34 people totally register for this workshop, and we've got 9 on here. Now that's a truth statement about how people operate. We complain about our students not following through. They say they're signed up for this private lesson, this test, this tournament, whatever, then they don't do it. Anybody complain about this? Right? We complain about our students not paying on time. We complain about, guess what? When you are complaining about something and you operate the same way, you're attracting that. And so, first of all, for you guys showing up, congratulations. Some people said, Aaron, I can't make it. Will you send me the recording? I will do that for them, but they're going to miss something that I will not do for them because I want to reward people that show up and make the time. Some of you guys are on the West Coast, some of you guys are on the East Coast, right? And you're taking some time to better yourself, and that should be rewarded, right? So, uh, I'll say this one more time. I'm a martial artist, guys. I love what martial arts has done for me. I'm a 7th degree black belt under now the late Chuck Norris. I'm named after Chuck Norris's brother, Aaron Norris. I've been in that family tree. I've been around some amazing opportunities. The Gracie family, when they came to America, I was in the first workshop they did here. All right, I was a kid in the room. My first time ever free rolled was with Mr. Norris. I was at UFC number 3. Like I said, I earned my black belt under Mr. Norris when I was 12 years old. By the way, when kids didn't get black belts, right? You had to be 16. I was 12 at the time. And I've been teaching professionally since I was 12 years old. I've been getting paid to teach martial arts for 32 years now. Forget that I still feel 27 mentally. Actually, probably 17 mentally. All right. And I'm 45 years of age. All right. So that being said, let's rock and roll. If you don't have this book, I wrote the damn book. Okay. This is basically everything I could teach you right now, how to go operate. And I tell you lessons of what I would do differently because I did not do everything right. If you feel like you've done everything right from the get-go, you probably can log off because you should be teaching me. All right. So that being said, I'm going to start with an intent. Here's my intent. Um, I I have moved away from working with martial arts school owners intentionally because I want to work with coaches. What's the difference, Aaron? Person operating a school has a limited opportunity. They have 200 students, 100 students, 50 students, 300 students, whatever it is. I want to work with people that want to take whatever their skill is. Okay. One of my clients that I worked with yesterday um, has a program where he works with churches and teaching pastors how to actually execute church outside of their building, meaning how do they continue the following when they leave? He has a business of doing that. Okay. One of the people I work with right now was a coach with somebody you probably know, a guy named Tony Robbins, and she now does stuff in the women's entrepreneur space. I want to work with people that have an expertise because to fulfill the mission that Aaron is before my time's up on this side of earth is I want to reach as many people as possible to make life transformation. So I've moved away from working with martial arts schools. I want to work with coaches. Now, everyone here, you guys should be a coach. You're coaching kids, you're coaching adults. What I want to do is I want to stretch your imagination on how you go outside of your walls. That's my goal. So my intent is not to help you just with your martial arts school. My intent is to help you understand you have a gift that the world needs because we're missing leaders. There's a lot of leaders that have a title and they lead by that. So they step on the floor, they're a karate teacher, they're a leader. They walk outside of their building, and some of you guys are guilty of this. You go from being this powerful force here, you walk out of your school, and then shoo, you're just a normal dude, normal guy. I was that guy before. I was the king of my castle here. Well, it wasn't this school, but I was the king of the castle. I would leave into the normal life, put on my normal clothes, not my superhero cape, and I was not the same leader. See, that's a leader by title, and that was who Aaron was for 20 years. Thinking that they just don't know. I'm observing. I'm an observer. Anybody here? I'm a people watcher. I'm an observer. What I've recognized in the past 5 years is when you are a leader by title and not by calling, you're not a leader. So you're a leader sometimes by title or always by calling. And this phase of my life is I want to find those people who feel called to impact their community. Let's impact the world, but let's start here. Let's start with our community. Community is your school. The better you are as a man and woman, as a leader, the further you can go. So we'll talk money and all those things, but the reality is you're the bottleneck, you're the issue, you're the problem, you're the challenge. And if you don't think differently, if you think so I'm not a consultant. I'm a teacher and I'm a trainer and I'm a coach. And so my goal today is a couple things. I want to move you just to open your mind a little bit and see the world beyond your four walls of your martial arts school, to think bigger than maybe you've ever thought before, to continue to be a dreamer. And just because you're a little bit older, all right, I know some of you guys are probably younger than me, some of you guys are older than me. It don't matter where you are. You don't want to stop dreaming just because life is happening to you and you've got to go pay the bills. Continue to be a dreamer and look at this world. We need greater leaders. So for you guys who are live on the call and you haven't worked with me before, let me explain to you. I'm going to go and start my intent. My goal is I would like to help you guys, yes, in your school, but I'd like to help you guys have a voice and take your skill and be a better leader in your community and at a broader level. Now, when people work with me, here's how it typically works. We do 12-month program. I'm going to tell you everything up front, and then I'm going to go into teaching. Okay. There's no really like a sales pitch at the end. I'm just going to tell you what we do and invite you guys to say yes if you want to do this with us. All right. But typically someone pays a down payment of $19.97, and then they're on 12 monthly payments, $19.97 a month. Okay. So let's just round it up. It's $26K for the year to work with me. Last year, 2025, my average, I hate the word average, my average person that I coach had a 174,000 increase in their business. $174,000 increase in their business. That was the average. That means some people a little bit less, some people more. Now, I have this 5-to-1 ratio. If I spend $10, I want $50 in return. Okay, return on capital spent. I like beating the GPS. So anytime someone pays me 26K to work with them, I'm going to get them a 5X, but I like beating the GPS and I beat it with all my clients last year. So that's how it normally works. Listen, and this is going to be in the chat right now. If you guys at any point today during this call say, Aaron, I would like to roll with you for the next year, I'm about to do something that I've never done before. Will not do it again. If you're watching the replay, you can't do it because you didn't show up. You don't get it. I'm literally going to take the number off the back. Instead of being a 5-digit number, it's a 4-digit number if you pay it today while you're on the call. That's stupid. Okay. So it's going to drop in the chat here. And I'm going to send you a copy of my book. I'm going to send you my son's book. I'm going to send you a copy of his book. I'm going to send you our movement shirt right here. Now, this is stupid what I'm doing right here. Okay. Because the goal is to transform 1 million lives together. And you guys, I need your help to help me do this. I'm going to send you a shirt so I'll get your size. You're going to work with me for 12 months. We do a weekly call. I'm going to give you access to an app. Every course I have is going to be in there. This is a stupid offer. And I'm going to give you two tickets to our next event in Boston. Dumb offer. All right. Crazy offer. What I'd love to do is I'd love this to be such a great offer. You find another friend that owns a martial arts school that needs help and support, and you buy it for them. Okay. Now, and I'm about to give you something even on top of that. If you don't bring in $10,000 of new revenue in 90 days, I'll give you back your money and continue to work for you. Stupid. Okay. So I'm going to get into teaching. All right. Also, if you do that, I'm going to give you my cell phone number and you can text me whenever you need an emergency with a staff member, you need help with something. All right. And Dan's on this call. Dan F, you can ask him. All right. He hit me up when he was about 30 days from going bankrupt a couple of years ago. And not only did he save his business, but he is the top performer in his brand. All right. He's outside of Tampa, Florida. So, and Dan and his wife, Debbie is the queen, right? She's amazing, by the way. Okay. So, this is such a crazy offer I've never done before. The reason why is because I really don't want to just help your martial arts school. I would like to help you guys understand that leadership by calling to hit a better community. And I do have something of how I do this message now that I believe I can help you guys hit a bigger audience. Okay. So I wanted this to basically be free. And because I know all the problems you guys are going to have as a martial arts school operator. So I don't care if you have another coach or consultant you work with. This is such a freaking stupid offer. It's easy to say yes to. Now, if you don't have the $2,600 to do for 12 months, you're that tight on money. I do have a monthly option for you guys. Okay. It's not as sexy because I won't give you my own number. I'm not going to go above and beyond because that one is so stupid. But if you need a monthly option, you can hit me up and we can do that a little bit later. All right. Now I'm getting to teaching. If you guys got questions, I'm going to pause in between. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. I want this to be a participation call. You cannot think your way into a new way of acting. You have to act your way into a new way of thinking. So I'm going to challenge some of the things that you might be operating in your school with before. Okay. All right. So you guys ready to lock in? Martin's ready to go. Now, what I'd like you guys to do is take with your pen and paper, make some notes, but I'd like you guys in the chat right now. If you can, if you're somewhere, if you're in your car, whatever, if you can pull over, do this in the chat. Also too, I do it's 60, no, it's more than that. It's 82-page manual monthly where I give people your 2 times a day social media posts, your emails to send to your members. If you do mat chats, we do them a little differently than most people. We do them by ages and we do 2 a week instead of just 1. We do everything it would take to operate June. By the way, June's typically a 6-figure month for my schools. All right. We sell that as a $997 upgrade. If you guys do this while you're on the call today, I'm going to give you that as for free as well too. So this is again all just dumb stuff. I'm giving you away everything possible. Okay. All right. Now let's lock in. First thing I'd like you guys to do is tell me your student count in the chat if you don't mind. Okay. If you didn't put where you're from, let me know where your school's at. Do you have 1 school, 2 schools, 5 schools? Do you have one? Are you full time in your school? Is it part time? Do you have 40 students or 400 students? Doesn't matter, okay? But let's just be real. Let's be great leaders, and let's claim it right here, okay? All right. As you guys do that, sweet. Thanks, Martin. Martin, are you full-time teaching? Is that all you do, or do you have something else going on? I don't think your thing was working anyway, so you can just type it in there. So, and what I'll do, guys, is listen, when I challenge sometimes some thinking, perfect. I love that, Martin. When I challenge some things, thanks, Dan. Good. I love you guys doing this. Okay. Sweet. Like Chris here. Chris, where you located at? Are you Pennsylvania? Chris, where you were at?
I'm in Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. Beautiful. So like Chris is a great example. He's got one school with 300 students, another school he just opened in November of 64. I love that. Okay. And so here's the thing is there's so many things I've been in, like, again, guys, I've been a black belt now for 32 years. I've been teaching professionally. I've been in successful schools. I had 24 schools. Just to be honest with you guys, not all my schools were successful. And you guys already know what the reason why. It wasn't the system, it's the people. So we use the word system, but the problem with the system is, do we break the system so much that it's actually replicable? Like, and that's the key. And every business I work with outside the martial arts industry, what we do is we try to kill the system. We try to break it so it can't be broken. We challenge it. So we're going to go through some things sometimes as we go through today that it might challenge a little bit of things like, oh, I don't want to do that. I am not a consultant. The difference between a coach and a consultant is this. Martin has 80 students. He's got one school, does it full time. What he might need to do based on the season of life, right? I'm not going to ask Martin right now, but Martin doesn't look like he's 19 years old. Okay. So his goals and needs would be different if he was an upstart 19-year-old with 80 students. It's different season of life. And so what he might need might not be what Dan needs. And so if you just give someone a cookie cutter approach, it doesn't work. That's why I'm a coach. I listen to understand you, and then I apply a framework that is proven. And then what we do is we make sure that the biggest thing we have to overcome typically is not a system, it's going to be the leadership, which is typically your mindset. And not saying you guys aren't open-minded, but a lot of times we're indoctrinated based on what we've done for so long. All right, so that being said, here's my promise, guys. I'm promising you right now that today, before we finish, all right, we're going to go about another hour right now. You're going to get at least one thing to open your mindset that if you act on, you will get something to not change, you'll get something that improves your business. So, what does improvement to me look like? Well, money's the easiest thing, guys, right? If your money goes up, that's an improvement. What about this? What if the flow of your day improves? Some of you guys have 100 students, but you're spending 12 hours a day at your school and not with your family. That's because you have a habit and you don't have an intent. So what if you can buy back 6 hours of your day? What if, for example, like Chris with 2 locations, what if sometimes we just look at things of like, all right, and I'm not saying this is Chris' situation. I'm just saying that I know people that have this situation. They'll have 2 or 3 or 4 schools, but they really have 3 or 4 locations and it's one school. What does that mean? I know plenty of people in the industry that would have 3 spots, but if they don't walk in the building, it doesn't go up. What do you mean, Aaron? If and this because this is what I did. I had 3 locations and they did good enough. When I'd walk in, they go way up. And I should be a change agent, but you shouldn't go from here to here, right? Maybe more like here. And so a lot of times people struggle. They struggle with the idea or the concept of, hey, my business has to actually go up when I step away. I need to be able to get out of the way of the system sometimes because I'm going to be the problem a lot of times. All right. All right. So you're going to have something today. And what I'd like you guys to do is as we go through, if that's the one thing you hear, how do we do that and fix that? So I keep these things pretty simple. I use the word RISE, RISE, all right, as a framework for us to think about. So as we do this today, let's start with this. Businesses typically do this. And if you did this in your karate school, just let me know this is what you did. Most people are really good at something. So I was really good at teaching martial arts. That was the thing I know I could do. Easy. I could walk into school, teach a class anytime. I went to one of my client schools 2 weeks ago. I taught 3 workshops, 6 hours of teaching back to back to back, and we brought in cash revenue, $40,000 that day. I've never taught there before, never been there before. I wasn't even there 24 hours. I got there in the morning, flew into Michigan, flew out right after I taught. We brought in $40,000 of revenue. How can you do that when you've not even met these people before? I'm an expert at teaching. I'm an expert. Okay. I tell people I'm the world's greatest martial arts teacher ever existed. Not as an ego play, but it's something I tell myself because I want that sense of pride that I am an expert at what I do. Here's what Aaron was not an expert at. Tell me if you guys do this. I was a world-class teacher. I was not a world-class salesperson. I'd even tell people, hey, I would do this for free. Anybody ever said that out loud before? Yeah, I love doing this. I don't do it for the money. Anybody ever guilty? I don't do it for the money. You said that out loud to somebody. See, I would say that out loud because I actually didn't know how to get the money. So I just say, you know what? I love this. I don't do it for the money. I make enough to pay the bills. I would say it out loud because I just didn't know how to get the money. And secretly, I'm watching my friends who are not as great at what they do, right? Make money. And then I'm the one who had a problem mentally. I didn't feel like I belonged in the right rooms. So I'm great at this, wasn't great, world class at selling. Then I definitely didn't understand the word marketing because I thought marketing was advertising. I didn't understand there's two different things. All right, so with the RISE system, every successful business I've studied and invested to go learn, they go the opposite way. They don't start with the product we call the experience. They start with the reach. That's where the R comes in. The reach is not how you pay Facebook, Meta, or some agency. The reach is where do you go for them to see that face, to feel your energy, to shake a hand, kiss the baby, all those things. Where do you go? That is a direct result of someone walking in your building. If you don't do that first, you should do that before you open. So, Chris, for example, you opened a school in November. Did you have students sign up before you opened, or did you do a pre-sale, or how? Just give me a little bit of context of what happened there.
Yeah, we kind of did a pre-sales, but then we also had our location, first location pretty close. We had a lot of students also moved over. And then we had actually pre-sold membership, having them start at a close location and then they
Yeah,
all moved over. Yeah.
perfect. A lot of people don't do that because they think you got to have the building to go do that, right? So you always want to, no matter if you guys launch a new business, the very first thing you want to do is you want to go tell the world what you're doing, your intent, and then invite them to come experience it, right? And most of us, we want them to experience us first, then make the decision. There's a reason why I already told you guys, I want to help you guys be a better, greater leader. And yes, your business will improve. And I already told you the offer because I don't want to wait to the end like it's a gimmick. My intent is I would love to help you push your world to the next level. And I made it so stupid that honestly, I can't believe that I did it, to be straight up truth with you. Okay. That is such an over promise, over delivery, all right, and over serving of that. So that being said, start with an intent. So question. If you have your marketing campaigns, how many guys right now you feel pretty good about how the world knows who you are and what do you do? Okay. So what I'd like, if you guys want to take some, either put your hand up or whatever, just some volunteers, I would like to hear what you guys are currently doing for the world, meaning your community, to know who you are, what do you do, what are you about, what's your intent? Okay. What are some of the things that you guys are doing currently right now? Come, it's a participation call, guys. I'm gonna be like a
So
school teacher.
we are very involved in the school systems in our
Yes.
area. So yeah, we donate to the PTA, we bring donuts to the schools, things like that. And
How often are you doing that?
pretty often.
Okay.
Yeah, we do it fairly regularly. And we get to go to all of their events and we'll set up a booth and have a spin wheel there for the kids to win a prize. And here's the interesting thing, if you think about it, um, if you pay maybe $500 to participate in a school system for a while and you get one paid in full for 6 months, it more
Oh
than
yeah.
pays for the initial investment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, and then I see Christian saying a booth at a carnival. Okay. So when you do a booth, and thanks, Deb, for that. When you do a booth, guys, let's just take that concept right now. The cool thing about a booth, carnival, people are coming to it. Now, of course, some carnivals might be people who are not necessarily in your area. They might have driven from the community over. So sometimes you might not be, shooting your shot at people who have the opportunity to be in your business. With that being said, though, if 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 I have a booth set up at an event, that there's an attraction, this event, this carnival is the event. I've got a booth. But if I have a table and some chairs and I have someone sitting down, I would tell you don't do it. I have this rule. I'm not sure if it was Yoda or Bruce Lee, right? There's no try. There's either do or don't do. Matter of fact, I even wrote it up in here on this board for our students here because it's either Bruce Lee or Yoda, and they might be the same person. I'm not sure. Okay, they're both short of stature. One's green, one wasn't green. So if you're going to do a booth, the worst thing to do is have a table skirt, a chair, and sit there with a note or some stuff and whatever. Right? So here's the rule. If you're going to do a marketing of anything, you either do it or don't. And if you do it all the way. So I'm going to teach you how to do the right kind of booth. Okay. So that's what we're going to go through. And I can give you guys so many great, amazing ways. Here's the problem. You do 7 things halfway, you might as well do nothing all the way. So I would do one thing and go all in, and that's how it works. By the way, my first school, I started a part-time location, 30 students. A year later, 12 months later, no staff, just me, 350 students, all done from just doing good reach out, no advertising, okay? And for example, with Martin, okay, so you say Facebook, Instagram, starting TikTok, okay? The question I have is, are you paying for anything on those platforms, or are those just postings that you're putting out there? He's typing in there. We'll get his mic working one day, I'm sure. Cool. All right, so this is a good thing. I want if you know this, if you guys wait, if I say something you know, you still should write it down because you need to be reminded. We all need to be reminded, okay? My mom and daddy still try to remind me some stuff, and I'm 45 years old. Come on now. So, marketing and advertising are 2 different things. So, Martin, when you spend money on Meta, Facebook, that's not marketing anymore, you're advertising. Now, here's the reason why it's different. All of us get advertised to every single day. And we say we don't like people doing it to us, but for whatever reason, we watch ads all the time. We don't go up and get crazy about it. So when you spend money, now you're giving someone your product to go pitch to the world. And a lot of times we're guilty of not understanding where that message is being shot. So Martin spends $300 on Facebook. The company right next door to him, I'm not talking about martial arts school, whatever business, pizza place right next door. They're spending $300 a day. He's spending $300 a month. You're not competing against another martial arts school. You're competing against this thing called attention. So what Facebook will do is they'll put your ads where you're like the 12th thing someone sees, not the first. Well, the pizza place is spending $300 a day. Yeah. But Walmart's spending $3,000 an hour. You see what I'm saying? So we're so low on the totem pole that when we pay a platform, see, back in the day, I was in the yellow pages, if you guys are old enough to understand that. Okay. Anybody remember those days? And the way yellow pages worked is you paid a contract for the year, if you guys remember this. And my ego was, I want a full page. I want a full page. I want someone to see the Christ school that has a full page. And yeah, that was like $2,000 a month, $24,000. This is, 30 or 28 years ago, guys, like crazy amount of money then. And like, you didn't even know if anybody's going to flip that page over. So then we went from that to TV and radio. We're paying a platform to deliver the message. So Meta is just now the TV. YouTube's the TV, and Meta is like the newspaper in a sense. Marketing is using those platforms where you're in control. So yes, you should promote that, but let me go over how you do a booth and you market so you actually make money now, because you guys don't want money. What do you want as students? Martin's got 80 students. He might not want 800. Why not? Here's my challenge. If you guys teach martial arts for a living, if you're like me and your heart is fully locked in with these people, you love seeing who they walk in and what they become under your culture. If you're like that, if you really believe this, and I've seen so many great transformations, I'm sure you guys have seen it. If all things were equal financially, you're like, Aaron, I don't need 800 students. I can't even, where would they go? Okay, I think 800 is too small. Why not 80,000? There's close to 8 billion people on planet Earth now. We'll get to 10 billion soon, probably. All right. If you believe that you have the gift to lead and help, why would you sell yourself short? And I believe it's because we haven't figured out how to do it. A point is, you might not get to 800 students, but don't go incrementally. Hey, we're going to go from 80 to 100, right? What you guys all need is people. People equal growth. And that will equate to money and all those other things. But don't stop yourself like, "Yeah, Aaron, I just want to go from 300 students to 400. I just want to go from here. I just want to go from one location to two." Maybe that's not the right path. Maybe the path is, hey, let's actually take what you have and just do it more efficiently. And you might have a skill differently than what you're doing. You might have a passion that you haven't figured out. That's where I really want to be in y'all's lives. I really want to kind of help understand you. And that's why I'm not, again, a consultant. So that being said, okay, you guys all need more people, and it starts with the reach. So let's take a booth. All right. You get the location. You know that it's people that's going to be in your area. The booth's on a Saturday. You want the best setup you have. What if you don't have banners and backdrops and all those things? Okay. Do with what you got. Get the table, get a tablecloth, put your little pamphlets out there, but don't have a chair. And you never do a booth alone. You're at least going to have two people. If you can get more, get more. Now, let's pretend I'm going to put myself as Martin. Martin, I don't know if I've ever met you before, so we're going to play make believe here. Okay. I'm Martin. I'm assuming he doesn't have a staff, right? Full-time staff. It's probably him and maybe got a helper or two, but I'm assuming you don't have full-time people, right? So he's at this booth. He's got him and one other person. Okay. We're going to play make believe. This is how you do this, guys. He's got the table set up, but no one's sitting down. Both people are standing up in front of the table. Now, Deb talked about having a spin wheel. If you got some kind of thing here, people see us in traction, great. If you got some kids from the Christ School, great. But let's pretend it's just Martin and me right now. And we're going to be in our martial arts, either gi or a shirt or something like that. And we're going to have a clipboard, pen, and maybe some flowers in hands. And one of us is going to stand in front of the table. The other one's going to walk about 5 or 10 foot in front of the table, out kind of more into the crowd. And we're going to play a thing called pitch and catch. If you ever played baseball or football, right? He's like, we're throwing balls back to forth to each other. And one of us is going to be out in front. Hey, guys, listen. Hey, we got a free class this coming Saturday. Hey, I see your kids. Someone's doing this. But Aaron, I don't like doing that. I don't have this. Cool. If you don't have the ability to do that, you better go find your partner that can do that. Okay. I would prefer that to be a female. Okay. Why? Miss Deborah here, I'm not going to say her age, but she's not a spry young 19-year-old little lady anymore. But Deb don't get no's from people. They'll say no to Martin because he looks scary. They'll say no to me because I look scary-ish. Okay. Greg's got more hair, so they won't say no to him. Okay. But
Aaron, I'm karate grandma.
you are karate grandma. I do know that. She teaches Sunday school and karate. So, but my thing is, if you had a preference, right, it's harder for someone to say no to a female for whatever reason. Okay. Um, but we're playing pitch and catch. And then you have to have your gimmick. What are you signing them up for? And you want to get a name and a phone number, and if you could get an email address. Okay. So I think everyone understands this. What you don't want is someone sitting down. Sitting down is lethargic. You're not waiting for someone to come to you. This is the reason why it's called a reach, is I'm not, please come try my karate program. I'm out into the community. I'm at this event there to meet people. Now, if you take it to the next level, what we'll do is every time we see families with kids, hey guys, we're doing a free board breaking workshop in 15 minutes. And every 15 minutes, we'd run a 5-minute intro right there in front of our booth. And they would break a rebreakable board. So we teach them like 3 moves, right? They have to sign up. This is the gimmick. They got to sign a little name, whatever, and sign a little waiver. We do like a little short form, right? And you could use digital stuff if you want to. I'm not even going bells and whistles. I'm going old school right now on you guys, okay? I'm telling you, I got 80 students and I'm by myself. How do I grow this thing? And then I have them sign up, and every 15 minutes, okay? So they're walking by, hey guys, we got this going on 15 minutes, break a board or whatever. And on my table, I have a bunch of wood boards so they can see a board. I'm not letting them break that one, okay? But we start the class. Hey guys, listen, this is your first lesson. Your second lesson is free as well, but it's at the martial arts school, and I'm going to give you a uniform for free. It's this Saturday. Hey, after you break your board today, guys, we'll take a picture, okay? Now, I take the picture with my cell phone, so then I text it to mom. That way I know I got mom's real number. Hey, mom, cool. I took the picture, send it to mom, text it to her, right? And I make a little note about who that person is when I do, because the follow is going to happen as soon as they walk away, not the next day, that day. Okay. Then they broke the recyclable board, and what I do is, if you have a spin wheel, you do it like this. If you don't have a spin wheel, you'll take the real board that you have on your table, you put their name, their number, the name of the technique they're going to break their real board with on Saturday next week or Monday next week or whatever, and you're going to take a picture of that, and you keep the board. You send them the picture. All right, is everybody with me? If you have a spin wheel, on the spin wheel, instead of giving away free prizes, you have techniques that they'll break the board with, and you write down the technique. Now, here's one thing is never give away free membership. I'm gonna say this again. How many of you guys have done this before? You made a mistake. Never give away free membership. If you give away a membership for 1 month, 6 months, it doesn't matter. If you give away a free membership, you're gonna give away one person something. If I'm gonna give something away, I want a massive audience. So we don't I'm not asking you guys to do things in your business that you don't want to do. What I'm saying is if I'm going to give something away, right? That's why on a spin wheel, I'm not going to say, hey, you want a free month. No, I don't want to do that. I'll give away a birthday party instead. Why? Because it has a real value, right? My daughter's last party that we did for her was like $2,000. Parties are expensive nowadays, guys. Okay, go investigate how much parties are nowadays. You give that away because one kid has a party that invites 15 of her friends. Now you have the opportunity to do a great experience. And by the way, they come into your building and it's all for fun. So on a spin wheel, I don't want to give away stuff like free membership. So I would teach a class on site because your competitor, karate school, is going to try to get information and call them to get them to come in next week. I'm going to teach them right now. I'm going to create an emotional high. You sell with emotion, you close with logic. Everybody with me? Now, hold on a second. This is how you do the reach right. It's the first letter of the rise. Never, ever, ever, never, ever, never. You always have nevers or you have nevers. You don't have in-betweens. You don't ever do a booth unless you have a target of how many names and people you're going to meet. Nobody in our industry does this. Here's what everyone does. They'll tell their staff, hey guys, you're going to set your booth from 10 to 1. You're collecting leads, get as many as you can. You say, get as many as you can. Great. You got a 19-year-old kid out there working and he got 4 names. What Aaron's done and does is, hey guys, listen, your target for this 2 hours is to collect 27 names, phone numbers, and email addresses. 27, booths from 10 to 1. Your time doesn't end until you have 27. Minimum. Meaning, it's 1 o'clock, they don't have 27, they better go out into the streets and hustle. Targets are meant to be met. They're not ideas. I want my people to work from open to goal. Meaning, hey guys, the target today is 27. You guys get it done fast, close up shop, go home if you want to. If you want to. See, I want to create leaders that say, hey, if that's the goal and the target, Aaron, watch this, hold my beer, I'm getting more. But you never just give them, hey, get 20. No real number ends in a 0. That means you're lazy. How can you say 27, Aaron? Because I know, just like today, we got 10 people on the call right now. 30% of the people registered showed up. If I get 27 names and numbers at a booth for 3 hours and we reach out and do all the stuff we're going to do to these people, I know it's about 9 people who will walk in my door. And I know we close about 6 out of 9 or 7 out of 9, 6, 7, right? So 27 is 6 new members. Every new member we sign up here is $1,000 of immediate cash flow to that month. So that's a $6,000 jump. 27 gives me $6,000. Cool. It's a math game. Most of you guys don't know the math game. Now, wait, while we're doing that booth, we got a real target. We got 2 people. Am I going too fast? You guys getting this? Then, this is where, Martin, you use your Facebook. 2 days before that same booth, all the way to 2 days after, you take all $300. You use the pin on Facebook to do it where the booth's going to be. So 2 days before the event to 2 days after. You drop the pin on that address. You do a 3-mile radius, 5 miles if you're in a more rural area. Spend all $300 you would spend for the month. You spend all in those 5 days with the same offer that you're going to promote at the booth. and you target the demographic specifically to what your demographic is. So here's Erin's demographic. Okay. She's 33 years old. She has a 10-year-old daughter, a 7-year-old son. She volunteers at the school. She used to be a professional. Now she's a stay-at-home mom. All right. Her husband's, an executive at his company. Anybody guess what kind of vehicle she drives? All right. It's a white Toyota Sienna. She wears the thing called athleisure. Anybody know what brand? It's called Lululemon. She does not shop at Walmart. She shops at the Target. And and she does not eat she does not eat McDonald's. She only takes her kids to Chick-fil-A. Her name is Blair Johnson. This is my perfect avatar of my customer. So my social media advertising, not marketing, because I pay Meta about $300, that's my demographic. If I was an adult-only school, that would not be my demographic. We don't do adults at our schools. We only have kids 4 to 14. We're a kids-only martial arts program here. So my demographic is a mom with kids in that age group. Everybody with me? So I take that $300 instead of the month. I spend it short run. I'm running the booth. I got no staff, guys. I got 80 students. So there's 27 names and numbers that I'm going to follow up with. As soon as they walk away, they did the 5-minute lesson with me. They walk away. I'm sending the picture with the information about the address, location, when their next lesson is. Give them something specific about the kid that I remembered. And I'm doing that so I remember later as well, too. And I've always asked the 3 golden questions. We're going to do that in a minute. Okay. Now, does everybody see how this works? Then what's going to happen is their phone's with them. They walk away from you guys. And everybody who's attached to their phone can start getting targeted through an algorithm. And then all of a sudden your ad shows up. Anybody ever done this thing before where you just like, you're talking to your friend about something, you're like, all of a sudden the next thing you know, you see it on your phone? Like, what the hell? They're listening to us. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So you shouldn't spend the $300 over the month. You want to target that very tight when you know you're doing something. I'm going to tell you what we're doing right here. Okay. The 2 vehicles you need to own as a martial arts school owner is you need to own a minivan and you need to own a pickup truck. Those are the 2 vehicles you guys need. Okay. We're going to do the old school, get in the minivan, drive to the neighborhood and fly our neighborhood. And we did this with our teaching with our clients yesterday, is we pulled up a thing on the USPS, Every Door Direct Mail, if you guys know what that is. It's very expensive to do this. 10,000 homes cost $7,000. $3,500 in printing material, $3,500 to the USPS, $7,000 for 10,000 homes to get your message. I will teach you how to do it for free. I'm not going to do that today, but I'll teach you how to do, I'll show you how to get 10,000 homes, bigger than a sheet of paper, in your mailbox, so big that everyone freaks out, for free. We're going to do that. And at the same time that goes out, we're going to do the same offer than social media radius, just like I told Martin how to do it with his. Okay. And then we're going to go old school and we're going to go door to door as well. So we're going to let the post office do their thing because they can legally put it in the mailbox. We're going to go flyer those areas on opposite days, so like Wednesdays and Saturdays. So Wednesday, the USPS is doing it. We're hitting it up on Saturdays while we do a social media campaign over 7 days. If you did this by just paying it, this would cost you about $12,000 to $15,000 to do. It's going to cost us about $2,000. It's going to cost us about $2,000. And we're going to have more than likely 30 to 40,000 people in 7 days see what we do, who we are, what our ask is. It's a numbers game, okay? Dan, I'm reading your thing about being an adult-only school. Here's the cool thing is, adult-only school can make a lot of money if you do it right. Meaning, I know people that have had 10 students only, and you can do $100K a year off of that. You can do $1 million a year off of that. I have a client right now. He's going to do once a quarter, a 4-day event, and he'll bring in $250,000 each time. 10 people. So it's learning how to do structure. Okay. He's going to do a 4-day workshop with martial arts enthusiasts. bring in $250,000 each time, it'll be 10 people. So there's definitely ways to do the adult market. Okay. So Dan, one of the things that you can hit me up with that if we work together is how to structure your system is where if your jam is working with adults, how to do it where it rewards you for that effort and knowing who our target audience is. So that would be something that I definitely would love to help you with. Okay. So that's how we do a booth. Now that's part of the R. Remember, reach means we're in the community. I literally could go through this for the next 7 days, never turn this camera off. Okay. Actually, my battery's going to die on my computer in a minute, so I can't do that. If I just plug this thing in, went 7 days, I could give you thing after thing after thing. Here's the thing is, don't do a single thing of this until you pick the one you want to do and then go all in. Don't do this and then a little bit of this, a little bit of this, because a little bit of something don't ever give you a lot of something. You want to do one approach and all in. So I'm giving you concepts and ideas to think, and if one of this makes sense, right, that will be the next thing. Okay, so going to the next letter. And Sarah, in a minute, I might have to go plug up. Not yet, we're good. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Just gonna make sure I don't lose power while I'm doing this. Okay. All right, next one, guys. I'm gonna skip some pages here so we can make sure we get through this. So the R is reach. Next is invite. Here's where, again, I was really great at teaching martial arts. I was just hoping people would find me organically, word of mouth, all those type of things. And the reality is, it's not going to work that way typically. Okay. So I had to get out of the community. I had to learn the difference between advertising and marketing. Now, the next thing is how do we turn this attention and convert it from them walking in my doors? Because again, if 27 people you meet at your booth, how do you get them to show up? Because if you can get 27 people to actually show up, most of you guys would probably tell me you can close 80%, 90%, 100%. Matter of fact, most school owners when I work with, they say, Aaron, we close 100% of people that walk in the door. We just don't have enough people walking in the door. Cool. So one, you're more than likely paying someone to get people to walk in the door. You're getting some bullshit. Anybody here have some bullshit leads come in from your online stuff? They're like, they live in Uzbekistan. You don't even know where that is. Anybody get this problem? Like my school's in Vegas and all of a sudden you get a Florida guy. Yeah, because he's on vacation here. Anybody have this problem? Okay. I was talking to somebody the other day. They didn't know the reference here, right? But the leads are the problem. Anybody know this movie? Glengarry Ross, okay? If you don't know that movie, it's an older movie, but go watch it, okay? It'll definitely reference to you guys about sales. So you're blaming the leads because you're trusting Meta. Zuck, hey, Zuck, bring me the right people. Yeah, your ad's not right. You don't know your avatar. You're the thing, but you're trusting someone else. So you got to reach. You got to be in the community. I'll give you another little hack. Guys, my target audience is Target people and Chick-fil-A people. Don't you think Target spends more money than I will spend on figuring out where they should put a Target? Don't you think Chick-fil-A is going to spend more money? My school, I can see Target, I can see Chick-fil-A. I can see Target, I see Chick-fil-A. That's on purpose. It's by design. It's by design. Thank you, man. So here's the thing is, go sit at Chick-fil-A if you guys have those in your area. If you have families as your market, right? Dan's going to the strip club, I guess. I don't know where he's going. Okay. He's got to go find the guys with money. Okay. Don't do that actually, Dan. Don't do that one. But go to Chick-fil-A is what I do. Sit there for 3 hours from 11 to 1, 11 to 2, have your computer up, just work, wear your stuff, wear your karate shirt, your brand, whatever, work, and just look at the opportunity as moms and kids are there. And organically, if you do this, you don't do it once, you do it 5 days in a row. You do Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday. What's going to happen is the manager, aka the owner, because they're all corporate owned, even though they're called franchisees, but they're not. It's not a franchise. They're going to start talking to you. Conversation's going to happen. Kids, parents, whatever. There's going to be opportunity for you just to meet people that are like-minded for your culture. Put yourself in the world. Quit staying in your home. This is your home right here. Get out of your home. Ain't nothing happening here already because the people that are here are already paying you. Okay. All right. Moving to the invite though. You've done the reach. Now, how do you get those 27 people that Martin met? How do we get them to show up? First is you got to start the follow-up sooner. Gold is found in the follow-up. Bitcoin's found in the follow-up. So you want to, if a lead comes in through the internet, through social media, within 5 minutes, you want to hit them up. Within 5 minutes. 3 minutes is best. So do you have the ability to have that automated? If your software can automate it, great. Guys, if you don't have software, $497 a month, you get a payment processor, you have a CRM that does everything, online courses, memberships, all the crap, and your website design and hosted. Okay, that's not my business, but that's my partner's business. It's $497 a month. It's CRM, website, payment process. If you don't have it, I got somebody who can get it to you cheaper than anything. It's crazy stuff. Anyway, it has AI built in it. So my software has AI, right? So somebody comes in, boom, it hits it. They get automated communication. We get automation communication, and we then pick up the phone and call them. And we're going to ask the 3 golden questions. Okay. So next is within 5 minutes, 3 minutes is best though. So I meet them at the booth. My follow-up happens. As soon as they're walking away, I'm texting them. I'm on the phone with Martin. He's asking you about martial arts program. Once I go through 3 golden questions, before I hang up, I send him the first follow-up. The first follow-up is, hey, by the way, Martin, listen, I know you said you wanted your daughter to have better confidence. I just sent you a link to a video to show you how we actually instill confidence in young kids here. And it's a 3-minute video already done. How do you know this, Aaron? Because we already know the 10 things people are typically going to ask, and we already have stuff canned and ready to go. Boom. Think about this. He's going to call the next karate school. They're not even going to answer the phone. Come on now. They don't even answer the phone. But if they did, and they asked the same questions, all they're going to do is try to get them to sign up for an intro. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask 3 questions. And then I'm going to invite him to come see. If you go to church, the pastor is always talking about, hey guys, to the congregation, hey guys, please invite your friends, invite your family. Inviting is very welcoming. Okay. What's wrong? Oh, so think about the same approach. I'm talking to Martin on the phone, and instead of saying, oh, yeah, I got you to sign up for this trial, I'm going to listen. I'm going to ask questions. I'm asking questions to understand, not just to respond. And then I'm going to invite him to come witness exactly how we do this. All right, 3 golden questions, guys. You should write these down. Now, first of all, most people who call you are idiots. What do you mean, Aaron? They call your school. Martin, what's the name of your school? Type it in there real fast. Martin's in Cali. Where? Bakersfield. How far is Bakersfield from here? Can we drive to Bakersfield? Hour and a half? He's an hour and a half away? Yeah, you should drive to me, Martin. Me driving to you. All right, so we're Level Up. I like it. Oh, that's a cool name. Level Up. So I call, all right, let's pretend I'm Martin right now. Martin calls me up. Here's what happens, right? Level Up Martial Arts, Martin speaking, how may I help you? And then the idiot on the other side, this will be Martin now, will be like, hey, what kind of karate you guys teach? Okay. Then the next question is, when are classes? Oh, wait. How much is it? How many guys get these 3 dumb questions? Now, why are they dumb, Aaron? There's no such thing as dumb questions. Somebody lied to you. There are dumb questions. Here's the reason why they're dumb. If I'm the dad calling Level Up Martial Arts and I ask the 3 dumb questions, does it tell me about Martin's ability to actually help my daughter with her confidence if that's why I'm calling? Does it tell me that maybe I called a school that does, adult Krav Maga and I was really looking for my 4-year-old daughter? They don't tell me anything about the problem I'm solving. You got to remember, guys, people only buy something to solve a problem. The reason why you guys are on this call is you're hoping that maybe I say something that inspires you, motivates you, encourages you, pushes you. Listen, I would love to inspire you. I'd rather coach you. And I gave you guys an easy opportunity to say yes to that. What I know to be true is most people in the world, we're information whores. We want to suck up as much information, but what we're not great at is execution. So parents are the same way. They're calling you guys to get information, but they don't know what to ask. So when people are ignorant, they ask what they understand. So hold on a second. If you believe yourself to be a great leader, I'm with you, Chris. If you believe yourself to be a great leader and you want to be in the business of transforming lives, it doesn't start when they walk on your mat. It starts on the phone call. You better start coaching from right then and there. Because if you don't, you may never see that person. So when the person calls and I'm like, Level Up Martial Arts, Martin speaking, how may I help you? Hey, what kind of karate you guys teach? How much is it? When are classes? If I answer questions, and I'm not asking you guys to be deceptive or lie, I want you to be massively ethical. I want you to actually be a leader from day one when the first point of contact is. So if I just answer his questions, I know nothing about him in a situation or what his problem is. So I'm going to give you guys 3 questions right now you should start using today. By the way, use these often and everywhere, not just on the phone. Use them even with current students. Just the framing will be a little different. So on the phone, whatever Martin asks right off the bat, right, or the dad asks is like, how much is class? What do you teach? Whatever the first question is, reintroduce yourself, right? So like I'll just put my name into this. Hey, this is Aaron at Level Up. Hey, real quick, who am I speaking with? Oh, it's Martin. All right, okay. Hey, Martin, thanks for calling me today. Totally understand you're curious about what we teach. Let me ask you this first question, right? And by the way, let's pretend he already said, hey, I'm looking for my daughter, whatever, okay? Because of course, like I need to know for him, kid, whatever, right? But let's say he's like, I've got a daughter, I want to do martial arts. What do you guys teach? What in the classes? All that stuff, okay? Hey, Martin, real quick. Hey, thanks for the opportunity to talk to you today. Hey, let me ask you this question first, though. I know you want your daughter in this program. Why martial arts? What is it about martial arts that you guys are curious about? And then I just let him talk. And what he's going to tell me a lot of times is, well, we heard martial arts is good for whatever, right? We heard martial arts is good for discipline. We heard martial arts is good for focus. I heard it good for confidence. And by the way, you should have this, right, as you're doing this, right? So maybe in this position, he says, we heard martial arts is really good for confidence and it helps people feel, they can defend themselves if they have to. Hey, Martin, I'm totally with you. Martial arts absolutely can do that. Well, let me ask you this one then. You say confidence, but yeah, I want to know why martial arts now. See, that seems like the same question, but it's not the same question. And then he's going to say, well, my daughter came home from school the other day. She was crying. And I asked her what was going on. She said she's been getting picked on at school. And man, that broke my heart. Oh man, Martin, that's got to be tough as a dad. Yeah, definitely understand how that's frustrating. All right. Well, let me ask you this, Martin. Provided we're the right fit and you love the experience here, and provided that we're able to deliver the confidence you want to see in your daughter, let me ask you this. 6 months from today, 6 months from today, what would success look like to you? And then I'll listen. See, when I ask these 3 questions, guys, what I first learn about the person is why they believe the vehicle of martial arts is the right fit for their family. So like he thinks it's good for confidence or discipline or fitness or self-defense, whatever it is. So first is why he believes it's the right product. Second is what's the trigger? Because listen, most people when they call you or email you, they knew martial art. Matter of fact, you guys right now, if you follow me online, you probably read some of my stuff in the past. And you probably liked a little bit enough to get on a call with me right now. So like one was the reason why, but now there's a trigger. We call it a pain point. Kid got bullied. Kid's grades are bad. Whatever. Somebody got in a fight. So first is why they believe it's the right product. Second is what's the trigger? What was finally the straw that broke the camel's back? That's important. And the third thing, when I ask him, hey, I give him a time period to kind of visualize 6 months, 9 months, whatever. It's not a long period of time. I'm not saying years. I let them tell me what their desired outcome is. People don't do this. I haven't talked about a trial or anything like that yet. I'm learning about because I'm a coach from day one. Because if they become a student, I got to learn the person and I need to make sure that we are even the right fit. And so then I listen to the outcome and I say, hey, Martin, man, I would love for us to be the people to help your daughter to have that confidence. You said you want her to walk in with her head up and to try new things and not be afraid when she walks into school. I would love to be part of that journey with you. Hey, listen, here's what I can do for you. We're the experts on developing confidence in kids, and I have an opportunity for you just to come try the experience of what we do. I'd like to invite you to a free trial this Thursday at 5 o'clock, or I have Saturday at 10 o'clock, and we'll demonstrate exactly how we develop confidence, and I believe we're the right fit. Which one of those is best for you? Oh, but I need to know prices or whatever like that. Okay, yeah, I'm totally with you. Listen, 100%, I'm going to have that all ready for you when you walk in the door. I just wanted to make sure that again, you understand exactly how we develop confidence. By the way, I just sent you a text. It's a little video demonstrating that. So when you get off the phone, you'll be able to watch that. Maybe you can watch it with your daughter. Which time is best for you again? Thursday or Saturday? Perfect. Great. Hey, listen, I got your information here. I'll call you the day before to confirm. I'm excited to meet your daughter, and I would love to have the opportunity to be part of the journey. See, I personally don't like selling. So I didn't want a system that made me feel like I got to beat somebody over the head. Price is never a problem, except in the absence of value. If you give so much value, price is never an issue. Yeah, Aaron, what if they can't afford it? Whatever. Yeah, okay, cool. It's going to happen. Probably most people, when I work with school owners, again, Dan and Deb are on this call, they were a month away from basically shutting the doors and going bankrupt. A lot of times people call me as the Hail Mary because they're freaked out. And finally, I'm like, hey, why didn't you call me a year ago? All right, think about the time we would have had back. So most people probably can't afford you. What you want to do is you want to treat everyone like they need you and can afford you. And you find a way to give so much value and then let them make sense of how to figure out how to do it. Okay. All right. So that's the invitation. 3 golden questions. Now, how does this work in person? Same thing. You guys want to master those questions. You want to understand why they like the product. What's the trigger? What's the desired outcome? This works in your upgrades. This works in relationships because everyone typically has a desired outcome. Guys, when you go to the gym, like we know, got to be in shape physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Physically, I want to go to the workout. Listen, what's the right product? Some of you guys like going to the weight gym. Some of you guys like going to what's the bike thing called? Cycling thing. Some of you guys like going to yoga. There's a product for you that speaks your language. Then there was a trigger point. You looked in the mirror, you're like, damn, I'm getting a little chubby here. Wife's picking on me. She grabbed my fat. Trigger point. Are you waiting to get ready for whatever? Summertime. So you know the product you like. There's a trigger point, and there's an outcome. Man, I want to look like that guy over there. Cool. You just want to make sure you put that to every approach. Okay. I'm going to pause here for a second. If you got a question, you can hit the virtual hand up, unmute yourself. I'll answer any questions, any topic, anything. Let's roll. Am I giving you guys too much information is the question. Okay, cool. I'm answering everything. I love it. I'm ahead of the game. If you think of something, you could drop it in the chat here too. All right, 2 more letters here, guys. Go ahead. Who's got me? Go ahead, Christian.
I got a question.
Let's do it, man.
So, we just opened up a new school in an area that doesn't have any martial arts, so the community isn't quite educated.
I love it.
So what kind of, I mean, of course, outreach and going in the community and educating the people yourself is probably a big one. But when they come into your school, how do you really paint that picture for them?
Let me ask you a question. How big is the town?
Probably 15,000 people.
So my most successful school is in a small town of 33,000 people. We eventually had 350 students, $1.4 million in revenue. It's 2 staff members. Okay. So you're in an area that actually has an advantage. To me, it's an advantage. So first thing is you tell yourself it's an advantage. Why is it an advantage? We got 15,000 people. You could become the mayor of that town. Legit the mayor of the town. You can become the most well-known, most famous person in the town because martial arts does something, especially if no one else is doing martial arts in the area. So it's an advantage. Whereas right now I've got 3.2 million people right here and 99,000 schools. And it's a UFC capital and entertainment capital. So, the challenges differently, right? Now, that being said, what would I do? I actually would go, I would pick how many, do you have students right now? Or did you say you're brand new?
We just opened this week. We have 7 students, but we did that carnival this weekend. We
Okay,
got a bunch of pre-sign-ups.
How many leads did you get from the carnival?
76.
Beautiful. Have you called every one of them?
Yes.
Okay. Did you do this thing? Oh, somebody knows I'm about to ask.
Mhm.
Everybody you called. Matter of fact, how many people went to voicemail and how many people did you actually talk to of the 76?
Probably 40 of them went to voicemail.
Okay. That's pretty good actually, because I would think it'd be like 60 probably when the voicemail. Okay, that's pretty good. And then have you booked any appointments from the 76?
Yes, we have 14 this
Okay.
week.
I love it. What's your offer to those 14?
Uh, Kind of doing like the first 15 members get like a 119 a month unlimited price.
Where are you based out of right now?
It's in Texas, Marble Falls, Texas,
What's the biggest city close to you?
Austin.
Okay. Let me tell you this right now. You need someone to help you with your price points because again, you're probably good at martial arts. All those other things are the things that are like, even if you understand them, they're the challenge. Your pricing will determine the clients you attract. If you're in a small town and you charge low because you kind of mentally kind of put your mind in their wallets type thing, it will attract this kind of volume. And look, is this going to be your full-time gig or part-time gig? What's it going to be?
Yeah, I want to make this full time.
Sweet. How much money you need to make a year? Just you take home pay. Are you married, kids, whatever?
Fiance.
Fiance, great. Do you plan on getting married then?
Yes,
If you plan on having kids?
of course.
How old are you, sir?
26.
Bro, I'm glad you're meeting me right now. Awesome. Have we met in person before?
We have, yes.
Where at?
I went to Tennessee with, I think, Mr. Cam.
Okay, sweet.
And
Okay, yeah, yeah. Sweet. Are you part of PMA or a part of it at one time?
no, I was probably like probably 14 months ago.
Okay, sweet. So you're doing your own thing now.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Well, first of all, congratulations. So here's the thing is pricing really determines if you have 14 people coming in, you're doing month to month with them.
We have a Yeah. Right now we have a month to month and then a 3 month contract.
Cool. Uh, how much money you need to make in a year for you take home?
50K is the goal this year.
Yeah, how much you want to make though? Forget the year. How much do you want to make?
I want to make all of it, right?
Well, I mean, there's a number that like for the lifestyle you want, for where you want to live. Oh, let me tell you this. Um, Here's an exercise for a 26-year-old. How old's your fiance?
She's 22.
22. Beautiful, man. She must be super smart and beautiful, right?
Of course.
Good. Is she with you right now?
She is, yes.
Yes,
Good.
I'm here. Hi,
Good job.
Aaron.
Hey, nice to meet you. You better answer all these right, Christian, okay? All right. So here's what I would do. If I could go back in time, I'm 20 years older than you, man. I didn't figure this out. What I'm teaching you right now, I didn't figure out till 37. From 37 to 40, I went from making about 700,000 a year to $2.5 million a year. Take home pay. Okay. If I was 26 and someone was in my corner, bro, you could be a millionaire before you're 30. You might not need it, want it, whatever. Maybe she wants it. It doesn't matter. But I know that people who are successful are the best givers in the world. All right. And so let me tell you this. One, you need help with your pricing. Two, some very basic things that I can guide you with. But let me say this. You're in a small town. That can be a huge advantage, but you have to be the most well-known person. You have to find how to use influence to create a movement, an army, and your fiance is probably going to be your best asset for this, right? It's harder for people to say no, and if she knows how to use social media, particularly TikTok's more like a bigger reach outside of a small community, but using the Instagram and things like that to be really great. But here's the first thing I'm going to say. You got 76 people. You call them again, you email them, you text them. There's about 7 days from when you met them until they get what we call cold, right? The question you always ask, always is always, okay? You'll say, hey, Christian, let me ask you a real quick question. I got you booked for Thursday at 4 o'clock. Let me ask you a quick question. Who do you know that we can invite to come with you? Now, it's very important, guys, what I just said. I didn't say, do you know anybody? I said, who do you know? We have a statistic for every one lead, it normally turns into 2.3, meaning, which I know it's like there's a third of a person we're getting sometimes, but what it does in math is we get a name, we call them, once we get them on the phone or a text or an email, we ask, who do you know we can invite with you? Going back to that invite. Framing it that way makes the mind go, well, Billy's got 3 friends, cool. And they'll say, yeah, we got these people we'd like to invite. And we either give them something to bring those people in, or we call them on their behalf while we have them on the phone, whichever they're most comfortable with. You could take 76 and turn that to 150 just by asking that question. Guess how much money that cost you? Zero. So every time you do a booth from now on, you get somebody's, you meet someone, you shake their hand, you say, hey, by the way, who do you know? Just that framing changes the whole game right there. All right. Here's the next thing is, Christian, I would say this, an exercise for you to do with you and your fiance. I would do this tonight. I would force you guys to think about being 40 years old. I know it feels like you'll be an old man then, bro. By the time you're 40, they're gonna have like the matrix plugged into you. You'll have AI in your body. You'll be taller and ripped and rich and whatever, right? It's just there's gonna be crazy what you guys are growing up into. That being said, dream about 40, feels like forever, and dream about the house and say it, draw it out. Don't just say a big house. It's 2,600 square foot. It's got 4 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, whatever. Claim it. Hey, we vacation 6 times a year, and here's where we go. Literally draw out the perfect year when you're 40 years old, and then price everything out. Price it out. For example, my mom, when I sold my company, she said, I asked her, hey, mom, where's the one place you've never gone you'd like to go before you die? Name it. She says, I've never been to Alaska. I want to go to Alaska. Cool. I says, tell me how you want to do it. She wrote out the trip. And then I wrote the check to send my mom and the whole family for 2 weeks to Alaska the way she wanted to go do it because she didn't want to go low class. She wanted to go first class. It was $63,000. It was a little bit of money to give a lifetime experience, but there's a price to it. Okay. Do the math because then you'll know how much money you'd like to make. And then it's easy to backwards engineer. Now, everyone here should have the minimum standard target at $300 a month per member. So, Martin, if you don't mind, and Christian, I would love a chance to work with you, my man. Martin has 80 students. Martin, what did you do in revenue in the month of April? And I love people like I know sometimes that makes it makes you have tough soberness with stuff, but this is how I can help you guys is beautiful. Okay. Because I put in my phone right here, he says 25K. I got $24,000. Beautiful. He's on track, what we call the standard. Now hold on a second. The standard is a minimum, not the maximum. So you're hitting that. Now, are you doing that every month? Ish. So if you guys are under the $300 standard, there's a pricing gap. Doesn't mean you have to charge that as tuition, right? And then, Martin's in California. So like if you're in California, you're in Florida, like Tampa, like where Dan and Debs are, like you got to beat these numbers more so because of the cost, right? Okay. So you got the yo-yo effect, sometimes up, sometimes down. Okay. Now, everyone here, your minimum standard should be $300 per member. Then the next thing is, if that's the standard and we can consistently do this, you built in a system where you can have a peak once a quarter. What does it look like, Aaron? So in Martin's case, you should have 25, 25, 75, 25, 25, 75, 25, 25, 75. Okay. Well, how do you do that? That's what I'll teach Martin. Okay. And here's what I would do, Martin, that $75,000 a month. And maybe you go 25, 28 because you brought in new students, 30, 100, right? So we had a month here at this school here, we were at $700 per member per month. All right, was our average for the month. That's a high, like, and it was no crazy gimmick or whatever like that. It's sustainable, right? So if you do this, if you go 25, 28, 30, because your student count's going up, and then you have at $80,000, $100,000 a month, what you do is you take that profit there, a third of it goes to the big man, the IR and the S. A third of it needs to invest directly into your business for direct income to come next month, meaning you buy opportunity. How do you buy opportunity? I find every booth. And the reason why you guys aren't doing 7 booths this month is because you don't have the capital of people and capital of money. So I invest because you have momentum. And then I take a third of that money and I put it in this account over here. I build that up and you have a target. When this account gets built up to here, I take the money out. So this is not called savings. It's called storing. I store money. When it gets to a certain number, I go dump it into an investment. So for me, every time I got to 100K in this account, I invested. Because investing $1,000 here and there, it doesn't really move the needle. I would take 100 grand at a time and invest. What did Aaron invest in? I invested in two things. One was me, aka education. Two, open the next location. All right. I did give some to Elon, but I should have given a lot to Elon. All right. But I took a bet and gamble on Aaron. That's how I went from 1 to 24. I didn't borrow money. I created success and used that to leverage. Okay. All right. So uh, S is serve. And I'm going to wrap this up and let you guys do some Q&A with you. And I'll hit some pain points real fast. Serve is this, guys. Customer service is lacking in America. Anybody see this, guys? Customer service sucks. Okay. How well do you put serving your client, your students, over selling them? If you make sure that you serve them instead of sell them, like right now, you guys haven't, well, except for Dan and Deb, who's a customer and a client and a family, you guys haven't paid. And I'm giving you guys, instead of like, I could have just asked you guys questions and say, hey, here's my offer. I'm saying, hey, I'm giving you stuff right now. If you never talk to me again, if you just ask those 3 golden questions better on the phone, you're going to have an improved process there. Next is if you just serve your people better, what does that look like? Do you use technology, one, to make sure that there's automations and AI built in? Because if you guys listen, you can't be resistant. It's happening regardless. Second is, what is the experience level, which will be the E here in a minute, of how you serve them? Do they feel welcomed? Do they feel seen? Or are you teaching the students and you forget there's an audience? And so how will you serve them? How will you go above and beyond? For example, our calendars over here on the mirror. What day is the burger month? The 28th? Is that right? Okay. The coach over here who teaches at the school, she's the last class of the day. All the kids, instead of coming to class, all the kids from the earlier of the day in classes and all the ones that come to the last class, they're going over to the burger place over here called the In and the Out. You guys ever been there? Okay. West Coast people know what I'm talking about. And she's buying all the students' burgers that show up that day. The requirement is they got to show up at the one we told them, because there's a couple locations here. They got to wear their Rise martial arts stuff. Our media guy's going to be there. We're getting content. We're going to co-brand, and we're going to walk in and we're going to give In and Out what they want. You know what In and Out wants? They want customers. And we're going to walk in with 40 or 50 kids. Okay. And by the way, that's not going to be too expensive because it's like $5 a person In and Out. In and Out does a great job. By the way, great company to study. I study a couple different companies in the fast food space. Study In and Out, study Chick-fil-A. Study those companies. Okay. Chick-fil-A's 80-year-old company, never had a down year. All right. How creative can you serve? And then last, the experience. What is the experience when people are in your school? Are they being instructed? Are they being taught? Again, I'm not a consultant. There's a lot of people that I love and care about in the martial arts space that are consultants. They'll tell you what to do in your business based on what they've done. But if you do anything outside the system, they don't know how to create it for you. Where Christian's at, right, is different than where Dan's at. Dan R is talking about got an adult market type thing. Christian's in a smaller town. Okay. Martin's got success. He's got 80 people. His next issue is if this is all he does, right? Do you have a brick and mortar? You teach at your house or you have a shopping center? He's typing for me, right? Because 25K in California, if you're in a shopping center with whatever your rent is, there might not be enough skin in the game at the end of it, right? Guys, listen, if you don't have 6-figure take-home months, you didn't design something right. It should almost be impossible not to have a high margin, right? So if you have well, what's your rent, Martin? More than 5,000 or less than 5,000? Less? 4,000? 3,000. Great. Okay, $3,000 rent. So he's got super cheap rent. Okay. Are you very visible? Or are you kind of a little more hidden? Kind of hidden, right? You're good? Like you're on the main road, or he's doing sign language with me, okay? Well, listen, we got to get you, you're visible. Great. We got to get you more money so you can get a good microphone system or something so you can talk to me better, okay? So like if you got great visibility, you got cheap rent, he has an opportunity then if he's got profit to go bigger, right? So but Martin might not need $10,000 a month. He might be cool making $5 grand, $7 grand, 10 grand, right? But I know this, right? Because Martin's probably closer to my age than he is to Christian's age, right? Or maybe as Martin's got some season on me. I'm not sure. Okay. I got less hair than him, so I don't know. He might be younger than me. I don't know how this works. Okay. I know though, I'd rather be efficient with my time. I'm not lazy. I want to be efficient. Okay. 60. Great. All right. Got a few years on me, not much. But like He don't want to be 75 and still have to teach every class and still only make $8,000 to take home. Because $10,000 a month in 2026 compared to 2040 going to be different. I mean, gas is $5 and something here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to finish with this, and then we'll do about 10 minutes of Q&A. Again, I invite you guys to take an opportunity with what I gave you today. It's crazy. So here's the things that I wrote in here, guys. First of all, let's talk about money. None of you guys are making enough money. Everybody agree? Nobody here is making enough money. I mean, Christian's got a young, hot woman he wants to marry. She going to pop up some babies. He better be making some money. Okay, let's just be honest. Okay. So one is money, and most of you guys are comfortable with the money you're making. What I mean by comfortable, you're probably pissed off you're making what you're making. You're probably not happy with it, but you're comfortable because you're not doing anything to change. Okay. The next pain point is you're the problem, you're the system. If you're not there, right? Again, if Martin doesn't show up, does it still make money forever? Probably not. Most of us like we're the problem, right? Next thing is your revenue is unpredictable. One month you make this, next month you're here, next month you're here, because you don't have a design. You don't have a design. Next thing is you have a team problem. The way you train a team is you find any warm pulse person. They've got a little pulse, like, hey, come help me. You don't know how to find and attract the right person. You use Indeed and Facebook to go find you a salesperson, to go find your instructor, but they're not mission driven. They're not fully locked in. And then they're going to ask you 3 stupid questions. Their stupid questions is, how much do you pay? What are my hours? And when's my time off? They're idiots too, because you don't know how to ask the 3 questions you would ask for someone you're looking to hire. So you're the problem because you don't have the right team. Okay. Next is you're in the hustle trap. The hustle trap, this is where I've been, and sometimes we'll fall back into. The hustle trap is, oh, I got to make some money. Go figure out something really fast. Oh, I got to go make some money. Hustle up really fast. Okay. It is stressful. Next is identity trap. You don't really know who you're for and what you're about. Hey, we're kids 4 to 14. Blair Johnson, the mom out there, that's who we're looking for. You need to be super clear who you want to work with. And the world needs to be super clear. And here's the one that nobody really talks about. I put on here because this was the one that I feel like the season I'm in. This is where probably Martin's at. This is where Dan and Debs are. The pain point you're dealing with is what we call the legacy costs, right? It's the one typically people forget about. They don't even know how to talk about it. But every time, every single month, you're in your building, either teaching the classes, or you're in the building watching your staff because you don't fully trust them, or you're in the building making all the phone calls because if Deb don't call everybody, ain't no appointments and ain't no appointments. Every month you're in there is a month you're taking away from your grandkids. It's a month you're taking away from giving people that really need your platform to grow because you have to be there for everything to work. It's a cost of your legacy. And that's the season I'm transitioning into is like, if I cannot leave and it grow, that means it will die when I die, right? My grandmaster who passed away last month, his organization will die within, I mean, it was dead 10 years ago, but it's really going to be dead soon. It's sad because wrong leadership that was not leveraged to grow. And now that the man's gone, it's going to fall apart. Sad when he was the greatest American icon to ever exist in the martial arts space. And predictable. Anybody who knew anything about that organization knew it was dead 10 years ago and knew it was dead for life forever now. Sad. Well, your business will be the same way, guys. If you don't create an opportunity for it to be a business, it will become a problem. All right, so here's the last part, guys. Aaron, I can't afford to work with you. Okay, cool. You don't have 26K. I gave you the opportunity for $2,600. You get a year. Stupid. You don't have the $2,600 today. There's an option on there. You have to click the link before I hit the call to go away because that's how this offer works. Okay. And there's a monthly option to work with me. Okay. When you do it, guys, I'm sending you a shirt. I'm sending you 2 books. You don't read, cool. You'll have them on your desk. They just look cool. All right. I'm going to give you 2 tickets to an event. If you go to Rise for More, the number 4, riseformore.com, where it has the thing that says live, you scroll down, you'll see where it says regional events in Boston in July. It's 3 days. Okay. Tickets per person is $500. I'm going to give you 2 tickets for free. Stupid. Okay. And then my promise is if I can't bring in $10,000 of new revenue in 90 days, I will keep working with you for the next 9 months and I'll give you your money back as well too. I believe so much that I'm going to help. I don't want to help your martial arts school. I want to help you to expand your knowledge and growth because my real intent with you guys is to build a better leader so we have a community that we can go do life together. Okay. All right. Any questions? You can unmute yourself. Anybody, any topic. You can talk about anything. You can talk about money, martial arts, business, family, fitness, faith. I don't care. Bring it up. Let's roll.
Hey, Aaron. I got in late, so
Yes,
the
sir.
the link is not in my chat. Can you
Sweet. We're
put
gonna
that link
drop it
back
right
in
in.
there?
Yes, sir. By the way, if you do
Perfect.
the paid in full option, which is like I said again, stupid. Normally it's 1997 down payment, 1997 a month for 12 months. It's 2572, whatever the number is. But I'm taking the last number off. That's for the year. If you do that, I give you my cell phone number. You can hit me up anytime you want to. So there it
Great.
is in
Thanks,
print
sir.
too. Okay. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Okay. And then we'll post the one in there too for if you want to do monthly. Okay. The monthly ends up being it's $497 a month for 12 months. So it ends up being twice as amount of money, but it's a monthly payment if cash flow is an issue for you. Okay. Either way, I'd love to work with you guys. Listen, I believe so much in the idea that the one thing will never be in the way. By the way, this offer wasn't the offer I was going to give you guys today. At the last minute, when I say last minute, 10 minutes before the call, I got challenged by somebody in my life this morning saying, Aaron, literally, the person said to me, is like, Aaron, you say you want to go impact more people and you're letting money be the thing. And so this is literally just a test to go tell someone that I create an opportunity for people to say yes, almost basically for free, like stupid free. All right. And what I know the problem is, and I already said this to him, I was like, listen, karate people a lot of times, they don't understand how to go make money. So they have a scarcity mindset of money. So this was not the offer because the offer was $6,500 was what the offer was going to be. And I was like, I'm going to make something so stupid, just go prove a point. Okay. That being said, people that watch the recording don't get the opportunity to say yes to that offer. They're going to get the original one. Okay. I just did this because you guys showed up. Okay. And when you guys do this, I'm giving you, and Dan, I'm gonna get to your question right here. I'm giving you guys I do an upsell every month where I'll give you the full document of what my school's doing, class plans, mat chats, marketing, posting, 2 posts a day on every platform. I charge $1,000 for that. I'm gonna give that to you guys for free when you do one of these links. All right, Dan R says, what can you recommend for someone who's struggling to cover the overhead at the studio, rent and utilities? First of all, let's get really clear and sober about the numbers, right? So one of the things I would do with you, Dan, is we'd really go through where the outbound money is going. So for example, let's take it out of martial arts for a second, and then I'm gonna come answer your question specifically martial arts. One of my local clients here, he does about $300,000 a year in his business. His target's 2 million. He's got a big gap. So we built a financial framework based on the staff he needs to hire. And then what we kept doing is we kept trying to break it. Okay. I'm actually going to meet with him later today. We're going to keep trying to break it. What I mean by breaking is we throw everything at it. Hey, what if a staff member quits? What if you lose 10 clients? What if this happens? What if you grow to this level? Does it financially create a margin? His margin we're looking for is 22 to about 34%. So every framework we built in there, for example, if he has people that are the highest pay structure we created, guys, you should not be pay people hourly. Also, if you have a salesperson, you got to make sure you structure. Here's how you know if you have a salesperson. A salesperson doesn't want you to give them a salary. A salesperson wants commission because they want to create their own economy. Now, so those are things we'd have to learn. But here's the fast thing is, if you're in this yo-yo of, man, we're creeping through it, okay? And let's just use easy numbers, all right? Because, well, we could do some more fact finding. But if I'm up and down, typically the issues are going to be this. I don't have structure to my product. Okay. Doesn't matter if it's martial arts, doesn't matter if it's a fitness program, doesn't matter if I'm selling, clothing, whatever. I don't have structure to what we call a ladder. So typically you're gonna have 4 ladders. You'll have free, low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket. So most martial arts schools have free and low ticket. They don't have mid or high ticket. Successful martial arts schools have free, low ticket, mid ticket. They don't have high ticket. Okay. And the ones who think they have high ticket, it's not high ticket, it's mid ticket. All right. So one, you might have the right structure. So we could fix that really quick. Within days, you could fix that. It's not, you never add something new. You do more of what you already are doing structured right. You don't go add a program, you structure it right. Then you price it right. And then you market it right. So if right now you have a money crunch, okay, what you do is you structure your product to your current client base, you select a demographic in your client base, and you go to them with an offer to say yes at a stupid price to create a little bit of a buffer. And then you have to apply discipline to that buffer. I'll give you a great example. Anybody who I'll work with, right? When I do a discovery call, my offer to them is While they're on the call, they pay a down payment if they're moving with me, and they have a monthly fee. If they want to pay it in full, here's the way it normally is: to pay in full for a year, it's $19,997, or it's $1997 down with $1997 a month. That's what I normally do, right? I made you guys something that's actually basically the price of 1 month. You get 11 months for free. What I would do if I wanted to create a cushion is I would take 4 or 5 of my current people, find something that they're already doing with me, package it in a way with a right price valuation, because price is never a problem except in the absence of value. Give them so much value with an offer to say yes in a short period of time, and then take that $10,000 you make and discipline yourself to have a little bit of a rainy day cushion, and then go fix your pricing and go fix your model. So you have a little bit of cushion, gives you a little bit of security, and then you fix your pricing while you also do better reach out. All those things happen simultaneously. What I became really good at, just to let you know, Dan, is as a proof of concept, what I would do is I would go buy a failing martial arts school. You should buy successful schools. That's a better way to do it. But I would buy a failing martial arts school. And in 30 days, I would create profit in the school. So I'll give you a real example. There's a school that did $194,000 annually. There's 2 staff members there. They had 120-ish students, whatever. 12 months later, same 2 staff members. So I bought the school. I bought the school for $54,000. Okay, I bought the school for $54,000. By the way, when you buy a school, you're just buying the mats and the students, like they didn't own the building. So I bought the school for $54,000, under $200,000 in revenues. Same 2 staff members, 12 months later, still there. That school did in the first 12 months $1.2 million. How did I do it? In 30 days, I fixed structure, free, low, mid, high, right packaging, right delivery models, not advertising. How do we use organic reach? How do we fix our class structure that actually creates a efficient model, not a just teach forever and a bunch of people? And then the biggest thing is taking the staff, those 2 people I had there, and guide them to be a leader, not a karate instructor. Oh, they resisted. Here's the crazy thing is, of those 2 staff members, one of them was the owner before, right? And he made $140,000 that year. You know how much money he made when he was doing 200K in gross revenue? Zero. So he was resistant, but he was cashing that check. Okay. So, and I've been able to replicate. Remember, I told you I had a school in Portland, Oregon. I bought in 2019. Portland, Oregon is one of the worst places to be when COVID happened. My instructor quits middle of the day. I'm in Tennessee. He's in Oregon. And it was the most successful year that school had ever had. So these are systems, not energy and personality. All right. So Dan, that's something I definitely can help you with. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'll give you about 4 minutes here. And I want to say I appreciate you guys staying on, the time and the attention you guys gave me today. I know it's almost 2 hours of your time on a Thursday.
I have 2 questions.
Let's do it.
The first one, I missed the E for rise.
What do you think it is?
Efficiency?
I like it, but it's not that one. What's your name?
Kayla.
Kayla. Kayla, you're 22, right?
Correct.
Do you like concerts?
I do.
What do you do for fun on the weekend with your man? What do y'all do? What do you like to do?
We like to be outside. We like to hike. We
Okay.
like to be close to the water.
Okay, I like that. I like that. When you do that, just the 2 of you guys go with the group?
Usually just the 2 of us. We have a dog.
Okay. What kind of dog do you have?
She's a little shepherd mix.
Okay. So you guys are in Texas, right?
Correct.
Cool. I'll fly out there tomorrow. I'll come out there and hang out with you. And you're like, hey, we're gonna go hiking, whatever. We're taking a dog. Want to come with us? And I'm your guest. As a guest, what are you always worried about? Someone has a great what?
Time.
Yeah, having a great
Sure.
time.
You'll have a great time, right? And a great time is a moment when someone has a great experience, they have a moment that anchors in their mindset. What if every time someone came to your class, it was like going to Disney? What I mean by this is it was an experience of transformation, entertainment, education, all these things. But again, it's an experience. Your job is to create an environment that is a feeling. People buy with emotion. So when a kid's in class, if he's just taking class and he just sweats and gets some martial arts in, that's not an experience. That's a great time, but a great time is cool for the moment. You want to create an
Right.
experience that's everlasting. So E is for experience. Your goal is to create an environment. Like probably hard to see with the camera here, but our school's set up very clean, right? Not a lot of posters everywhere. It's themed. So like in our uniforms, we have what's called Easter eggs. If you guys know what that is, right? You're young enough to know, but like quotes are hidden in our uniforms, speaking to the kid. They're also on our doors here, right? So yeah, cool. Here's one of our uniforms here. So our kids have a trial uniform. It's white. They sign up. When they sign up on our normal course, right? Just they're a student now. They don't go a white uniform. They're in a gray uniform. We go because black belt training is black. So they go from white uniform trial. What's in the middle from white to black is gray. But inside here, so this is the uniform here, right? But
Sweet.
inside the kid, when he's putting this on, we have two quotes for every program. So this one right here, this is kind of hidden right here, but it says fall, get up, rise again. Okay. And then inside here, I'm gonna take the pants part off here. Take this, all that, remember. But in right here, it then has the other one that says kindness is power. And so each one of these uniforms has two shirts, right? A tank top and so the tank top one says kindness is power, right? So they can wear this under the gi, how it matches in colors. And the shirt is a gray shirt and has the other quote. So everything's by design, right? So our school is very clean lines, not posters and all this kind of stuff, themed based on where we are. So like we have the Vegas wall over here because we're in Vegas. Our bags, everything's Phoenix kind of logoed out, but it's very simple. So everything's by design. The goal is to create a great experience for mom, dad, and kid. So if you keep doing that, they keep wanting to come back. The 5 metrics you guys want to always track, only one's about the students. It's how many leads, how many appointments you get, how many show up, how many convert. That's new blood, momentum, and then retention. And retention is predictable. You can predict when people change how they communicate with you.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. My second question was this week I had about 7 kids come to one trial class
Yes,
at the same time.
I love it.
And so
Seven
whenever
from
they
the
were
same,
all,
seven from the same family?
no, no,
Okay,
different
okay,
families.
okay.
Yes.
I was like, good Lord, that mama. Woo. All right, let's go.
A whole soccer team.
Yeah, let's go. Saka.
So the exit, it was a little chaotic.
Okay.
I didn't know exactly.
Oh, I'm glad we're okay. Great question. I started with 30 students at a part-time school. The first year I did professionally martial arts teaching. Okay, I was starting at school. I finished over 300 students in the year, 350, almost 350 students, all from doing just that, having 7 kids at a time and closing all of them. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. So, were you caught off guard there was going to be that many people?
A little bit, yes.
Cool. So if we end up working together, you have 3 ways I'll teach you how to sign people up. You're gonna have your standard, your normal. Your standard is gonna be, with a one-on-one family. Okay. Your second is gonna be when you don't always have the opportunity to get people's names, information, phone numbers like a school talk, and you're having to do this big invite, hoping they show up, and you give them a free 2-week, 30-day thing as a gimmick to get them in the door. And you have a leverage play, meaning like, hey, I gave you something to get you to come in. And now that you're in, I'm going to give you something in return to make you say yes. So that would be the second. And the third way is when you do a group trial like you just did, and you close them on the spot. It's my favorite way because it's fast. You guys can go from where you are to 100 students in about 60 days if you really want to do this. Because to me, it's the most efficient way, which is you would teach a 45-minute class. You create emotional peak and pace. I'll teach you how to do this. Create emotional peak and pace, and then you have an offer for them to say yes to. And then here's the thing: is those people might not be the best upgrade people, but you can get a school that's starting right now to 100 students really fast to create some cushion revenue wise as you're getting your systems in place for everything else. So If we're working together, I even have paperwork that you use for this that's different than your normal agreements you would use because you want to make it real easy for them. So if you ever have 7 people show up and you go to do your close, instead of getting nervous that it might get weird or awkward, just be super clear about what the offer is going to be and make it easy enough to understand that everyone there can make a decision on the fly. So there's a little bit of framing. For example, you might not have the decision maker there. So like you might shoot your shot and someone's gonna say, yeah, but I gotta go talk to the spouse. If you're not ready to overcome that on the spot, they're gonna walk out the door. They never walk back in. So these are things that I would be guiding you guys and teaching you about too. But you having 7 people, here's the cool thing is there's most martial arts schools in America right now don't have 7 people in a month walk in the door. So you're doing something right. I sent you guys metrics of what the actual martial arts school is averaging right now in America. And it's if you got my message on social media, guys, it's a sobering number. Most of you guys are already beating that, or you definitely know that it's capable of there. I don't want you guys to be the average, right? I have a friend of mine who makes three to $4,000 a month take home pay, and he's been doing it for 50 years that way. I'm like, why? Like, oh, I love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it too. But 3 grand a month, I can't even I can't get a car. I can't put gas in my car. I can't get a fiance. All right. Not for $3,000 a month. You ain't getting no fiance. Okay. Not one that you want to take home to mama. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So great questions though. Anybody else? Last call. I said 90 minutes. It's almost 2 hours here. Guys, I know you guys got at least one thing today. Here's the thing is, I'd love for you guys to send me an email today. All right. I will put my email here in the chat. I love you guys send me an email. Give me the one thing, right? If you never talk to me again, you're not going to work with me. Not a big deal, guys. Go create some success for yourself. But just if you would, just for an exchange of the time, email me today. All right. And Miss Sarah's putting my email in the chat here for you guys. Send me an email and give me the one thing like that's the thing. I'm gonna go implement that. Okay. If you got a follow-up question, you could drop it in email as well too. All right. And then, basically I gave you guys the opportunity to say yes, that is such a stupid, crazy thing. You're gonna get 2 tickets to Boston. I'm gonna send you a shirt, 2 books, and our first coaching call will be next Tuesday, guys. Hey, I look forward to working with you guys in the future. Martial arts is such a great opportunity to influence the world, and that's right at your fingertips. It's a great way to create your living. It's a great way to learn who you are as a person to become a better leader. And ultimately, what I would love to do is help you guys, whether you're 60 or 22, is find out there's a better leader inside of you that the world really needs to see. Guys, thanks for your time, the attention, and hopefully we'll be working together soon. You guys have a great weekend. Bye.